Hello everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Creative and Jobless. And if you guys have been following these videos, you would know that I'm not actually jobless. I just don't have a job in the creative field, but I would love to. So if you like what you see and you like my work, my email is in the bio, and don't be shy, get in contact. But anyway, moving on to today's character. First off, let me just say I don't know what is going on with my drawing software. I don't know, nowadays I'm noticing every time I open it up and I start drawing, I get very harsh lining in the beginning. And for a moment I thought that my drawing pad was messed up. I was worried that I might have to buy another one, and I'm not really in any position to do that at the moment. Also, it was a pretty good iPad and I haven't used it much up until now with doing the series, so I was worried that I might have to, I guess, get rid of it and get a new one. But thankfully everything fell into place. It was just the software messing up a little. Everything else on the pad was fine, so thankfully that worked out. And eventually it did the same thing as last time. Started off with harsh lining, and then eventually, as I changed up a few things on the software, it basically just went back to giving me the nice smooth lining, kind of like a pencil if I'm using it on actual paper. But yeah, thankfully that got sorted out. But I am getting irritated with starting off drawing like that. It does waste a lot of time, and I kind of like to just get into my work when I open up my iPad. But enough of my personal troubles as an artist. Meet Isaiah, our main character of book number 6 in the series. Isaiah is basically the son of one of the boys that were present in helping to hide Monife's murder. So he's basically this character's son. And similar to a couple of the books before, this does have 2 main characters, so the book will be taken from Isaiah's perspective and also from the perspective of his father, and we'll have these 2 POVs in the book as it goes along. Coming to Isaiah's personality, he's very quiet, keeps to himself a lot, kind of shy, and he's very much the character that lives in his own head. So he might not probably mean certain things, but due to him not often seeing over his own viewpoints, it can kind of make him appear aloof or not present to people around him, even people that are trying to show him genuine care or love or attention. When meeting him, it becomes very obvious that he's not very interested in socializing a lot. Not that he can't, he just doesn't really feel the urge to do it. He's very much someone that's into his comic books, not in a weird obsessive way, but it's clear that it is something that he would prefer to sit down and read comics rather than to build bonds or relationships with other people. When coming to the relationship he has with his family, so he has an older brother, older by 1 year, at least that's what I recall. It's been a while since I visited that last story. I'm currently on the final book, so forgive me if I might not remember a couple things from my previously written ones, but he has an older brother, an older half brother, and their relationship isn't quite good. It's pretty rocky. They have the same father but different mothers. It becomes increasingly obvious that Isaiah in a way despises his older brother and shuts him out and doesn't even bother wanting to speak to him. And his older brother doesn't do any favors in making anything better, as he constantly shows his undying hatred of Isaiah, his younger half brother. They don't like each other, but I will say his older brother is a bit more aggressive in that aspect, given that he also envies Isaiah because their father appears to give Isaiah more favorable treatment. The 2 are also polar opposites, Isaiah being the quiet, reserved boy that keeps to himself, and his older brother being a more outgoing boy who is into sports and socializes a lot. The 2 of them go to the same school but do not talk to each other. His older brother making it very clear that he doesn't want anything to do with Isaiah. As for Isaiah's father, he doesn't speak to his father a lot either, and it's quite awkward because it becomes clear that his father's trying to, speak to him a lot, get him into activities, basically trying to spark a conversation with him and start a relationship, and in a way try to get him and his brother to get along, which is successfully failing. So there's already a lot of missing puzzles or broken pieces in Isaiah's life from the get-go. So introducing Monife into the equation will only just ignite and boil over issues that were already brewing. But that's all I'll say for book number 6 of the Igbesan Ajinde book series. I don't want to give too much information and everything. I feel like I've said quite a lot. I feel like this is one of the parts where I've said probably a lot about the book. But yeah, that's about it for now. As you can see, or I've probably taken notice of, when looking at the pictures to the right, two of the designs basically have a different haircut from the other two previous pictures, and that's intentional. Isaiah does get a haircut somewhere along the novel as well, which I decided to incorporate in his character design. It is like mentioned a lot, especially by his father, that he needs to cut his hair, like cut it short, because according to his father, it's getting messy. But yeah, it's just a little detail I decided to add and showcase here. I was kind of sad that I made that decision to cut it because I kind of feel like it looked better with the hair. I don't know, that's just a little thing that irked me a little bit as soon as I started drawing it. I was like, I liked him better with the bigger hair rather than just giving him a fade. But hey, I'm still going to continue with the haircut scene. I feel like it's actually a vital part of the story, or at least starts off one of the vital parts of the story. But anyway, that's it about his haircut and why he looks like a different person in some of the pictures. But yes, this is the main character of book number 6. And judging by how I have two main characters in some of the stories, yes, I will get to that second part of Creative and Jobless where I finally do the designs of the characters that were actually there during Monifer's murder. You know, it's only right to do, because I must look crazy or super unorganized talking about two main characters and only showing one, meanwhile giving a whole backstory about the other. It must look ridiculous. So yes, that second part of Creative and Jobless will be coming. So don't fret, it will all make sense. I'm not just doing anything. So yes, all you have to do is stay tuned and yep, support me as I am on my journey to creating this 8-book series, Igbesa Agente. Anyways, that's it for today. That's it for now. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Instagram or TikTok. You know, show your support if you're on any of these social platforms. You know, I'd love to see people's comments, opinions, thoughts, anything that's on your mind putting into the series and its progress. But anyway, that's all for today, and I will see you in the next episode of Creative and Jobless. Bye.